Welcome to the channel. So today we're taking this rather lovely Triumph Scrambler 400 for a test ride. So if you're interested in seeing what this is like, if you're interested in seeing what it's like compared to the Speed 400 that I previously rode, this Kate's just overtaking me now on one. Keep watching, see how we get on. So yeah, we're riding the Horseshoe Pass here in North Wales. Kate's Speed 400, she brought one actually after the review I did of it really. She took one for a test ride and loved it. So she ended up buying one. So hers has been serviced today at Chester Triumph. So they've kindly loaned me this Scrambler 400 and they've loaned Kate a Speed 400, identical to her own one. So we can go for a bit of a test ride while they're doing the service. So that's very kind of them. Thank you, Chester Triumph, for that. So first impressions, what does this Scrambler feel like? Well, the first thing I thought when I got on it, I thought it had a puncher. So this has got the 21-inch front wheel, which is, you know, obviously different to the standard 18-inch front wheel on the Speed 400, and it makes this feel heavy. So I was expecting it to ride very, very similar to the Speed 400, but yeah, it feels heavy. The steering's a lot heavier. The wider bars, this has got wider bars, this has got sort of motocross style bars on it. I don't think that helps either. I think that makes it feel heavier. So yeah, so it rides a little bit different. Comfort is about the same. Performance, interesting. I was talking to Kate about the performance because we overtook some traffic on the way up here, and she was right behind me. And I was kind of had an inkling that this felt a little bit slower than the Speed 400 I rode. And she said yes, you know, she was right behind me with plenty of power to spare. So I have to put it in context a little bit. So I've done a track day this week on a Honda Fireblade. So obviously my perception of speed is probably a little bit messed up today until we get back into road mode. We've also had a really long journey up in the van to get here, so feeling a bit jaded, so that might, you know, cloud some of my judgment here. What a lovely day though. Not ridden this road before, so this road's from Llangollen up towards Roofing. I'll put the road number in the text so you can see, but it's fairly famous road, the Horseshoe Pass. Yeah, nice, short, but real nice. When I did the review of the Speed 400, I just couldn't get over the price of it. It was £5,000 at the time. The price has gone up now. I think they're 5.2 now, or 5,195. But I was, you know, shocked at the price of it and how good a bike it was. Same price for this. I think this is a little bit more. This might be 5.5. Again, I'll drop the price in the graphics. So you know, you can't compare it to premium bikes, but the finish on these Triumphs is real good. Certainly it compares very well to, you know, an expensive Triumph, shall we say, like a Tiger or a Bonneville or a Street Trip or whatever. I think if you look closely, there's a few things that are maybe not quite the same. I did notice on this one there was a slight little bit of tarnishing to the finish in a couple of places, but it's real dirty, this one. I think if you cleaned it up, that would probably clean up. So yeah, maybe these, you know, less expensive Triumphs might need a little bit more looking after to keep them looking tip top, maybe. I'm feeling the wide bars here, I really am. The wide bars are, I reckon on a longer run, this will make my shoulders ache. I find the same on a CRF 300 Rally, same problem. So that's just a point to note. Comfort, this is as comfortable as the Speed 400, fine. I mean, you could probably ride this all day. No great drama. The seat arrangement is slightly different to the Speed 400. It's a split seat, the pillion and the rider seat are separate, but it doesn't make any difference. I think you could ride this all day. I said the performance felt a little bit down on the Speed 400, but these are still sprightly bikes. Triumph have done really well to get the power they have out of this 400cc engine. I think they're like 44 horsepower, but they are perfect on the road. These sort of roads, even A roads, overtaking traffic, no problem. No, there's more than enough power. Surprisingly enough, actually. People that you know, maybe look down on little bikes thinking it's not quick enough, I think they'd be shocked. But when, after I took the Speed 400 for a test ride and I said, Kate, you really need to take one of these out and try it. She was, oh, I don't think it's going to be quick enough. And she took one out. She'd been suffering with a bad back, so she needed something a little bit lighter and a little bit easier to handle. She took it out and she was absolutely blown away by it. So yeah, ended up buying one. Interesting, there's a little bit of dodgy road surface there. I noticed on this that it's upset a bit easier. It seems to be more easily upset by not great road surfaces. And I'm guessing that's the 21-inch front wheel and the different tyres. But I could definitely seem to feel that. The switch gear and that and the clock arrangement is all everything you want really. I think for you know, a bike in this price point, I think you'd be hard pushed to expect any more, to be fair. These bikes being a single cylinder, I was a bit worried that they were going to be a bit clunky. You know, the gearbox might be a bit clunky and the clutch might be a bit aggressive, but not at all. Not at all. The gearbox is pretty sweet on these, and the clutches are all light. Not too much vibration. You'd expect a little bit of vibration being a single cylinder. It's one thing that Kate noticed actually when she jumped on for the first time. You know, she's not used to riding single cylinder bikes, and she did pick up on it. Not so much through the bars or the feet. There's a little bit of that on this, but she was feeling it more through the seat, which she was particularly sensitive about because of her bad back. Vibration is not good for her. I think I said earlier this has got a 21-inch front wheel. Of course it hasn't got a 21-inch front wheel. It's not a motocross bike. It's a 19-inch front wheel. So apologies for that. We just pulled over actually just to turn around, and I was just chatting to Kate and yeah, about how much difference this handles compared to the Speed. And it can only be that front wheel, which comes with different tyres as well. Because, you know, I guess this is capable of doing some light off-road, nothing too serious, but you could certainly do some green laning, and I guess that's what the bigger front wheel and the different tyres is all about. There we go, steam train's just come in, can't quite see the engine. Lovely place this, if you've never visited, lovely place. So I'm a big Triumph fan. You've seen some of our videos, you'll know that. Big fan of the triple range, street triples. I've had a lot of different Triumphs, Bonnevilles, street triples, Tigers, all sorts. You know, I've probably had it, certainly ridden it. So a huge fan of theirs. And I really wanted to love this bike. I quite fancied the idea of getting one of these, Kate having the Speed 400, you know, me having the Scrambler 400, and it would be a right laugh. Two of us going out with, you know, bikes of similar power and all that type of stuff. At this point, I'm not totally sold on this, I have to say, which I'm a bit gutted about. I think it looks better, or as good, and it looks very subjective, not everyone agrees. And I think maybe if you rode this in isolation, you'd be fine with it. And of course, you want to be more than fine when you're buying a bike. Then fine is not good enough. I think you probably quite like it, but the Speed, for me, for the type of riding I do, I like to get a little bit spirited sometimes, is definitely better for my purposes. I think the handling's better. I think that bigger front wheel on this is quite a compromise. But let's see, we haven't finished the ride yet. Maybe it's a confidence thing. Maybe it's getting confidence in that front tyre, which is my problem. I don't know what these tyres are. Obviously they're a dual sport tyre. For me, you know, it's really important that you can feel what the front tyre's doing. Maybe that comes from, so I come from a sports bike riding background. That's my first love really. So used to feeling the front tyre, feeling what the bike's doing, getting that feedback, and I'm not really feeling that. Those changes of tarmac there, and there's a bit more here, definitely unsettles the bike more. Lovely road this though, this Horseshoe Pass, real nice road. So the A542, I can tell you that because it says that on the sign there. We live further down in mid-Wales, we're lucky enough to live in Wales, we're very lucky. So we've got quite a few mountain passes. As I said earlier, never done this one before. It's quite short, but it is good. I would add this one to your list. Definitely add this one to your list. Oh, Abbey Farm, that's quite cool. There's an abbey down there with a campsite. A steamroller might run in front of that as well. Right, so Kate's going to lead the way up here. One thing this has got on here actually, which is definitely worth mentioning, it's got heated grips, but it's got the Oxford heated grips, and you can see the controller here, so it's like not integrated into the grips, it's a separate controller. They are not nice. This bit of cable here, when you've got your hands on the bars, there's a bit protrudes, you can feel it. Not nice, would not be happy with these at all. Yeah, you might get used to it, but when you can buy ones now, like the Ultimate add-ons ones, in fact we're having them fitted to Kate's Speed 400 today, where the controller is built into the grip, all nice and neat, lovely, none of this nonsense. Why would you have this? Yeah, not a fan of them at all. So I'm just leaving the bike in 6th gear up here, and it's fine. We're going uphill, not mega steep, but fairly steep, and it's still pulling fine. I do definitely think you have to rev this one a bit more than the Speed 400. This bike maybe is a bit heavier, the bigger wheels will probably weigh a bit more. Okay, we've stopped here at the Ponderosa Cafe on the Horseshoe Pass. Just a quick walk round. I'm sure if you're watching this, you know what these look like. This one's a little bit dirty, but they are lovely looking bikes, that's for sure. The finish is good. You've got to remember the price point on these. This one is actually real dirty if you look close. But yeah, the lovely twin stacked exhaust looks real nice. It doesn't look cheap. Yeah, it doesn't look cheap. So little touches. If I zoom in, like the badges and that, it looks nice. Okay, so we'll keep on riding. So there we go. So I've done about 40 miles on this Scrambler now. I really like it. I mean, it's really hard to criticise this bike for £5,500, you know, really hard. I think the Speed 400 is a better bike for what I want it for. I think the bigger front wheel on this and the different tyres is a compromise to the handling, and I think the Speed 400 handles quite a bit better, turns nicer, more eager to turn. But it's not all about that, and I think if you wanted to do some light green laning, then obviously this is the bike. So take one for a test ride, take them both for a test ride. Take this for a test ride on a Speed 400, like Kate's on in front of us, and see what you think. That is probably the the test, isn't it? And see which one you prefer. But for the money, I think Triumph have done a fantastic job. Both bikes, they look fantastic. They don't look cheap, you know, they look premium, which is creditable. So thank you very much for watching. We've got some more Triumph 400 reviews coming up. So I did a review of the Speed 400, but Kate hasn't given her thoughts yet, so we're going to do a review of what Kate thinks of her Speed 400. So we'll have that coming up on the channel. Please subscribe to the channel, hit the like button if you like what we're doing, post a comment, always interested to hear what people have got to say, and ride safe, and we'll see you on the next one.